Two for the 2-year-olds next. That was the Richmond Stakes. 6 furlongs the trip. Vandeek the favourite.
The Markel Richmond Stakes Group 2 and a jump away. Ballymount Boy a little bit slow to stride and went slightly to his right. Toca Madera well away towards the left. Down the centre, Sketch in the black cap showing speed. Hala Amarati is tracking Toca Madera with Vandeek held up behind that pair. They're followed on the right by Bobsleigh, a bit off the pace, along with Nazalan and Ballymount Boy. Not an overly fast pace perhaps through the first furlong and a half or so, and now they're stretching on down the hill, and it's Toca Madera from Hala Emirati and Sketch on the right. Vandeek still getting cover behind Toca Madera in the black and yellow stripes to the far side. Then Ballymount Boy, Nazalan in the green and pink jacket and the red jacketed bobsleigh at the back of the field, heading on now towards the final quarter mile, and Vandeek's got plenty of daylight on that far side. Toca Madera still probably just leads the way. Down the near side, Sketch from Hala Emirati. Vandeek begins to pick up quite stylishly. Far side drifting across to the far side though. Ballymount Boy is running on with Toca Madera now reduced to third. It's Vandeek that leads. Good run from Ballymount Boy in second, trying to close on this leader, but Vandeek is going to prove too good and follows up that debut Nottingham win to land the Richmond. From Ballymount Boy in second, Toca Madera back in third, Hala Emirati, Bobsleigh, Sketch and Nazalan.
Vandeek wins the 11-8 favourite, beating a Ballymount Boy who was 25-1, and there was a length between them. Well, Vandeek had won impressively on his debut at Nottingham, where he missed the break very badly, but he surged into contention there and quick and clear in fine style. Upped considerably in grade here. He's shown more know-how. He's certainly quicker away from the gates, but Andrea Atzeni was anxious to get him in behind and settled, and then he quickened up to go and win his race. He's possibly out in front a little bit too long and could have done with a lead for longer, but he's clearly useful and a nice prospect for Roger Varian.
It's another group winner from Tattersalls.
It's the second win of the week for Andrea Atzeni here at the Qatar Goodwood Festival. He opened in the very first race with Lord Whitterford, and now Vandeek has won the Group 2 Richmond Stakes. That looked very good indeed. Are the Crystals right to be quite excited about this horse?
For sure, for sure. He was. It was obviously a very expensive yearling, you know, a breeze-up horse, and he, like. At Nottingham, he did very well to win the race. When I missed a break by about 6 or 7 lengths, I thought the race was over. I was happy to give him a chance and hopefully to get him to run on and run a promising race. And the ground was quite sticky that day. So you have to make up a bit of ground to catch up with them. And then I took him back, he grabbed it for a few strides. And I was very surprised when I let him down, he went again. And, you know, for a breeze-up horse, he's got a great mind. He's obviously got a beautiful pedigree. And, you know, you never know when you step up into this sort of grade how good they are, but well, he showed that he's obviously very smart.
And had he learned plenty from that debut?
You know what, all he needed to learn is just come out the stalls a little bit better. Apart from that, he's got a very good mind. He's obviously a breeze-up horse, so he knows his job. I think, like I said, the key, because they obviously thought about going for another novice, maybe to teach him a bit more. But we had a good conversation a couple of weeks back, and I even said I think he's a horse that he's got a very good mind. He knows the job. Okay, needs to jump out the stalls a little bit better, but I don't think he needs any more experience to take on those slightly better horses.
Both starts now that he's raced, it's been soft ground. What do you think he'd handle quicker stuff?
I do think he's a horse that needs a bit of juice in the ground. The ground is hard work there, it's quite sticky. I was actually very pleased that we ended up racing up the middle, because the stand side is obviously with the racing they had on yesterday, it's hard work, and when we went up the middle, it's slightly fresher ground, and he travelled good into it, and he quickened up quite nicely. I do think the ground is a little bit important for him.
Okay, he's got an, I think you're, no, I've got time to ask you a little bit more. He's entered over 7 and over 6. Would he get an extra furlong?
It could well do. Obviously we'll have to see. These horses, like I say, for the breeze-up horse, he's got a very good mind. He switched off quite nicely behind the leaders, and I didn't think we went that quick either for a 6-furlong race. But you've got options anyway. It was nice to get this out of the way. At least we know he's decent,
yes. And
then I'm sure the team will decide where to go next.
What chances for a double on the day with Macanudo?
Well, Macanudo is, you know, I think he's obviously should go on the ground, and we haven't got a very good draw, 14 or 14. He's stepping up in trip with a pair of blinkers on. You know, he's on a handy mark. Hopefully he can get his head in front again today. Well, not again, he's head in front at some stage.
Well, very best of luck.
It hasn't yet. Yeah, thank you.
Congratulations. Maybe today could be the day.
Yeah,
congratulations.
Yeah. Cheers, thank you.
Well, his son Ed does all the hard work saddling Chesty. Simon is doing the post-race interviews for the Richmond Stakes because Vandeek has just been a brilliant Group 2 winner. Andrea Atzeni was very, very complimentary about this horse. How good do you think he is?
Well,